Hello, I'm Morteza Kurdi, and in this tutorial, we are going to learn about multithreading in programming. So what is multithreading? In computer architecture, multithreading is the ability of a central processing unit or a single core in a multi-core processor to execute multiple processes or threads concurrently, appropriately supported by the operating system. What is a thread? In computer science, a thread of execution is the smallest sequence of programmed instructions that can be managed independently by a scheduler, which is typically a part of the operating system. Multithreading simply means executing multiple threads simultaneously. Why multithreading? Multithreading provides simultaneous execution of two or more parts of a program to maximum utilize the CPU time. What is synchronous programming? In synchronous programming, the program is executed line by line, one line at a time. So this means that the first task is going to be executed and then the next task is going to start to be executed. So this is called synchronous programming. What is asynchronous programming? In asynchronous programming, we allow multiple threads to be executed at the same time. So the program is not going to be actually stuck with some instructions or tasks so that the first one is going to be finished and then the next one starts to be executed. Some tasks are going to be executed at the same time without any interruption. So now it's time to show you some practical examples and then it will completely make sense. So here it is, my Kotlin file. And now let me show you the class named animal that inherits from the class called thread. So this means that there is an is-a relationship between animal and thread. The animal class is a thread. We are creating a multi-thread application, right? So let's go inside this animal class and let's see what's going on here. First of all, we have a variable called animal name of type string, and initially we assigned an empty string value to this variable. And we created a custom constructor here in order to initialize our animal name variable or instance variable whenever an object of type animal is created. So we specified a parameter for this constructor named name of type string, and we assigned this parameter or argument to our animal name instance variable. So you are already familiar with the process of initializing our instance variables inside the constructor, the custom constructor actually. So now let's take a look at this function called run. So we get this function named as run from the thread class. This run function is very important. Let's go inside this function. First of all, it is calling the implementation of the superclass, the implementation that is inside the superclass, which is the thread. So super.run, and then we are putting our own implementations here. We are saying var counter assignment operator is 0. So first of all, let me tell you that if you don't want to actually use the implementation of the superclass, which is doing nothing, super.run is going to do nothing. So you don't have to put this line of code here. You can just comment out this line of code or remove this line of code completely. But I just wanted to put this line of code here so that you can understand how super works in Kotlin. And here in line number 31, we have a variable, a local variable named as counter, and initially we assigned the value 0 to this variable. And we created a while loop here. We said while the value of this counter is less than 5, then it's going to go inside the curly braces of this while loop, and here we have a println statement that says $ animal name, so we are getting the value of this animal name instance variable, and here we are saying is running dash $ counter. So we want to get the value of the animal name and the counter local variable, and then we are adding one value to the value of this counter local variable, so counter plus plus. So each time this while loop is executed, one value is added to the value of the counter local variable. And here we have a try catch block. So inside this try block, we are saying Fred with capital T in order to specify that we are using a class method. So Fred.sleep 2000 milliseconds. So 2000 milliseconds means 2 seconds, right? So this is how it is formatted. Or for example, 5000 milliseconds is 5 seconds. So it means that whenever the flow of the program reaches to this try block here in line number 40, the flow of the program is going to sleep. It's going to actually wait until 2 seconds is actually passed. And if anything goes wrong here in line number 40, then this catch block is going to be executed. So now let me talk about this run function that we get from the Fred class. This run function is going to be executed in the background, and this means that each Fred is going to be executed independently. So let me show you how it is actually executed. Let's go inside this main function. So now in line number 4, we have a variable, and the name of this variable is lion, assignment operator, and here we are creating an object of type animal, and the name of this animal is lion. In line number 5, we are saying lion.start. So where do we get this start function? Where does this start function come from? The start function comes from the Fred class. So we already know that the animal is of Fred. So each animal object is going to be of Fred, right? So when we say lion.start, this means that the lion is treated as of separate Fred. And when we say start, it's going to actually execute the run function that we overrided inside the animal class here, right? So when we say start, it's going to execute the run function that we overrided inside the animal class. Lion.start means this Fred start. So now let me comment out all these other lines of code here. I just need to highlight them and then hold down the command key on my keyboard and then press on the slash key on my keyboard in order to comment out these lines of code. If you are using Windows, you just need to hold down the control key on your keyboard and then press on the slash key on your keyboard in order to comment out these lines of code. So now I just want these 2 lines of code here to be executed. So just click on run and then run. Now in the console it says lion is running -0, lion is running -1, lion is running -2. So you can see that after each execution here, 2 seconds is passed. So this means that when we say inside this animal class, inside this try block, we said Fred.sleep 2000 milliseconds. So lion is running -0 is actually outputted to the console. So it's going to actually execute this try block and it's going to sleep 2 seconds, and then it's going to print another value to the console. So for example, lion is running -1. So let me run the app again so that we can see what's going on here. Lion is running, 2 seconds is passed. Lion is running again, 2 seconds is passed, and then again and again and again. So we can change this value. So inside this try block, instead of, for example, 2 seconds, we can say 5 seconds. Let's see what happens now. So now it's going to actually run the app and it's going to say lion is running -0. So now it's going to wait 5 seconds and then it's going to print the other value to the console. Lion is running -1 again and again. The other value is going to be outputted to the console until it reaches to the end of this while loop. So we created a condition and we said while counter is less than 5. So now let's change this value to 2 seconds because 5 seconds is too long. Now let's go back to our main function. And now let me uncomment these lines of code here. Again, I just need to highlight them and hold down the command key on my keyboard and then press on the slash key on my keyboard. So you can see that in line number 8, we have another variable, tiger, animal name tiger, and we are saying tiger.start. In line number 11, we create another variable called leopard, and we create an object of type animal named leopard, and we say leopard.start. So you can see that we are creating separate threads here because I want to create a multi-thread application, right? So in line number 14, we are creating a variable named bear, assignment operator animal named bear. And we are in line number 15, we are saying bear.start. So now, when I run the application, all of these threads here are going to be executed simultaneously. So let's click on run here at the top and then click on run. Now here I just need to select the file. So now I just need to open the console area so that you can see what's going on here. So let me run again so that you can see from the start. Again, you can see these values are outputted to the console, and here you can see that all of these executions, all of these threads are being executed at the same time, right? This is called asynchronous programming, multi-threading. So now here, for example, first of all, I want this lion thread to be executed, and then I want the other threads to be executed. So I want to wait. So here, after saying lion.start, we can say lion.join. So when we say lion.join, we are saying this thread is going to be executed until it dies completely, and then it's going to actually execute the other codes here. So when we say lion.join, the flow of the program is going to stop at this line of code, and it's not going to execute the other threads, the other lines of code here, until this lion thread is actually dies. So let's run the app now. Now in the console, let's see what happens. Now it says lion is running -0, lion is running -1. You can see that it's gonna actually continue executing this thread until it dies, and then it's gonna start executing the other threads. For example, tiger, bear, leopard, again, and all these other threads. So hopefully that makes sense. Here I just wanted to give you an introduction about multi-threading in programming and how it is executed in Kotlin, how we can create a multi-thread application, how to think about multi-threading in programming. Later in this course, we are going to dive deeper into the concept of multi-threading, synchronous and asynchronous programming in Kotlin by creating real-world Android applications. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions about multi-threading, synchronous programming, or asynchronous programming, please post a discussion in the course, and then I'll do my best to answer all of your questions. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.